welcome to listen via your computer speakers, but there'll just probably be no interactivity. So there's an option there for you. Just wanted to also just give you a little background, bit of background on Jane McPherson, who's the CMO of SpyderLink. She joined SpyderLink in 2007, just ahead of their market launch of the SnapTag product, which she's going to talk about a little bit. Prior to joining SpyderLink, Jane spent 15 years in both brand and product marketing positions at companies like Anheuser-Busch, Quiznos, and other award-winning marketing agencies. Please note that this is one of our tools of the trade session. So Jane is going to talk a little bit about her product and what it does, in addition to doing the larger global overview of best practices of marketing with mobile barcodes. So with that, I want to turn things over to Jane McPherson. And Jane, the controls are yours now.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. Mobile barcodes are really becoming an interesting mobile strategy and really marketing strategy, and we're seeing the deployment of them really hit the marketplace in kind of an avalanche type of format over the past few months. And what I'm going to share with you today is how mobile barcodes work, but also the best practices that we're seeing. So a lot of my examples are going to be examples of programs that have use SnapTags, but I think the framework of the best practices really applies to all mobile barcodes and is really kind of the best-in-class and key learnings that we have found for driving success for mobile barcode programs in the marketplace. So mobile barcodes, we're seeing them everywhere. So advertising and retail and on-event marketing, really in out-of-home, really all across the entire marketing mix. And I think the question is kind of like, how did this happen and where did they come from? Mobile barcodes fit into the marketing mix in a really unique way. So they take mass marketing, so event marketing, traditional media, shopper marketing, packaging, the entire marketing mix, and allow consumers to access from their interactive connections to brands, allow brands to do database marketing in a way they previously weren't really able to with their mass marketing efforts, deliver research and analytics, and then activate social networking opportunities. From a history standpoint, barcodes entered the marketplace really, as you guys all probably know, is in the 1960s when goods started using mobile barcodes, really as a way to embed data about that product or package for the retailer. So retailers could get inventory information and also pricing information by scanning that barcode. In 1994, Toyota, a subsidiary of Toyota called Dentsu Wave, needed to get more information out of that mobile barcode, so they invented a QR code, which is higher density, so it holds more data, and they wanted more data about shipping and inventory of their products. So what was interesting was in Japan about the same time, consumers started having these really sophisticated phones that really had a lot of web browsing capabilities. But phones in Japan have Japanese characters and URLs are in English. So there was a real barrier for consumers to get to websites. So marketers figured out they could also embed a URL in these QR codes. The carriers there put apps on the phone so to read the QR codes, and there was an instant connection between consumers and mass marketing. And that connection certainly is, ended up being very appealing for marketers worldwide. The Microsoft tag and the Snap tag, as well as a variety of other tags in the U.S., really started hitting the marketplace later in 2008, 2009. The Snap tag was actually invented in 2006. The Snap tag is the SpyderLink solution. Microsoft tag also was invented around 2006, and they were really, both of them invented as marketing tools rather than inventory and tracking tools. QR codes have really become a strong marketing tool in the United States, but they originally were invented with relatively limited functionality, just to deliver one piece of information or deliver one marketing function. Microsoft tags and Snap tags were invented to be a little bit friendlier for marketers with marketing in mind. So how do these mobile barcodes work? Marketers feature 2D mobile barcodes with a call to action on their advertising. consumers snap a photo of the 2D mobile barcode, and the 2D mobile barcode is decoded. The brand engagement tied to that particular mobile barcode is served to the consumer. For a QR code and also for a Microsoft tag, the consumer has to have downloaded an app that reads the QR code. They scan it once they've opened up the app, and then for the most part, a website opens. That's primarily how consumers or how marketers are using it now. And this Ralph Lauren ad was one of the first in the U.S. to really prominently display QR codes in mass marketing. Snap Tags is our solution. It functions a little different than a QR code. Consumers can take a picture of it and send it to a short code or an email address, and they get back a response into their text inbox. So it goes over the carrier's short code lines. The Snap Tag comes into the SpyderLink system and returns a response. And then they can also go to the mobile web for further engagement. There's also an app for a Snap Tag. It's a Snap Tag reader, so a consumer can scan it like they would have scanned a QR code and open up a dialog, so they skip the sending part and also can also go to the mobile web. So while and I think that's important to kind of explain that there's lots of different codes out there, and some of them are scan only, and some are also snap and send. The snap and send is attractive because it allows a marketer to reach a much bigger base of consumers. So snap and send allows marketers to reach about 90% of consumers, whereas QR codes or snap or reader-dependent tags allows the marketer to reach only the consumers with the readers on their phone. So how it works on a back-end standpoint is the QR code allows the marketer to serve up one piece of data to the phone or a single function to the phone or set of instructions. So the QR code serves up a set of instructions to the phone, and for the most part, the set of instructions that the phone marketers are using is direct somebody to a mobile website. On the back end, there's tracking capabilities, and then the marketer gets to influence the consumer really in that web experience. The Snap Tag and other tags that use Snap and Send are a little bit different in that they can activate, the Snap Tag comes into the system, and then the response is dependent on a number of variables driven by an algorithm. So the Snap Tag, the code, the consumer's phone number, the time of day, the location, the campaign history, there's a lot of different types of variables that can influence the response that's sent to the consumer. Rather, the QR code is a single function that's delivered to the consumer or a single set of instructions, like go to a mobile website, where Snap Tag or other codes that have a Snap and Send capability can deliver a robust different types of consumer responses based on variables baked into the campaign. And then all of the data is then embedded or reported on the to the client via an interactive platform, and the responses can essentially initiate an interactive conversation. Consumers can text back and forth with the brand sets up a predetermined set of responses and can really activate a dialogue. So the way we really think about marketing with mobile barcodes is really how every marketer would be thinking about approaching their client. They're thinking about driving awareness and perception. They're thinking about driving consideration for their brand. They're thinking about conversion, and they're thinking about building relationships. So marketers are implementing all different strategies to meet these 4 marketing goals, and certainly those marketing goals can be, use different vocabulary, but to a large extent, marketers are spending all of their time trying to drive those 4 objectives. So what I'm going to show you is how marketers we've worked with have built programs to achieve each of these objectives at different stages of the consumer decision journey. So the first is trying to drive awareness and perception. And where we're seeing brands use mobile barcode programs to drive awareness and perception is in their mass media efforts at events and in their sponsorship engagements or sponsorships. And they're using things like sweepstakes, instant win, and brand engagement. So the offers that are going to appeal to the most people and engage the most people and are the broadest opportunities, because at this point in the consumer decision journey, brands are really trying to create affinity for their brand, so eventually the consumer, when the consumer is making a buying decision, that brand is at the top of their decision-making or consideration. Some of the things we've done are seeing Coke Zero use mobile barcodes, in this case specifically SnapTag, at events, so that they could take all their event point of sale and add a SnapTag to it and turn it from really a brand impression into a brand engagement. They actually implemented 5 different campaigns, and then based on the event they were at, they determined, oh, is this the type of event where an instant win program would work, or would a scavenger hunt work better at this event? And so they turned on and off different campaigns each day based on the event parameters. And over the course of the program, we're able to drive a lot of consumer engagement. In fact, they saw about a 12% activation rate and increased the time consumers spent with a brand by 9 times. So previously, when consumers just saw a piece of point of sale or an event banner or grabbed a bottle of Coke Zero, now they're stopping to engage with the brand, see if they won, participate in a scavenger hunt, and really have a deeper brand experience. Coors, we did a pretty big program with where they were using their packaging as well as a full range of advertising and point of sale to engage consumers. And they were trying to take, sorry, I didn't turn off the timing on the presentation. They're trying to take their entire campaign and make it a mobile engagement campaign rather than just driving people online to enter sweepstakes. They were allowing people to enter from the package or enter from the point of sale or enter from the street team's T-shirts. And what was really interesting about this campaign is codes are highly variable and scalable. So you can create thousands and thousands of codes and deliver different engagements every time the code is changed. And in Coors Light's, this example, Coors Light delivered with 13 different code changes, delivered 13 different campaigns into the marketplace, allowing them to really customize campaigns for each of their major retail partners. So in Walmart in Texas, they had a different sweepstakes set up than they did at H-E-B in Texas, allowing them to drive a lot of display activity in both of those chains because they're delivering custom campaigns into each of those chains. The benefit for the brand was they didn't have a whole lot of asset changes to make at the same time. All they had to do was just change the code in the SnapTag, and this would have been the same thing if they had been doing a QR code campaign as well. Changing the code allows you to change the campaign that you're delivering. So it means that you can make a single set of creative work really efficiently and deliver different campaigns into the marketplace. This is a campaign we ran for Toyota. Toyota has adopted SnapTag, actually invented the QR code, but has adopted SnapTags across all of their marketing mix. And this is a campaign that they use to drive donations for the causes that they support, the Red Cross campaign in Japan. So consumers could actually snap and make a donation, and the donation would be charged to the consumer's cell phone bill. And then Toyota matched the donations that consumers and their employees made. So this was a really innovative way to deliver cause marketing into the marketplace and as a brand building effort. So the next phase of the path to purchase is driving consideration. And where we see the most effective consideration programs being driven is really in targeted media and in retail. And what brands are really delivering to drive that consideration is information about their products, videos, and comparisons. I'll show you some campaigns that we've seen some of our clients do. This is a campaign that HP did, and in the printer category. So in retail, where there's boxes and boxes and rows of printers, HP was able to use a SnapTag to deliver a product video back to the consumer who was shopping the printer aisle. And that allowed them to help consumers understand what was going on with their product, how their product was different or better, and try to influence that purchase. So to drive consideration for the e-printer product that they have. So they delivered a video back. This is a program that Aveda ran, and they offered consumers the opportunity to get a free sample, but they had to visit the retailer to visit it. So the snap tag was used in this case to allow consumers to find the salon near them where they could redeem this offer and then get a code to go in and pick up the free sample. So it was a great way for them to drive consideration for that product that they were trying to promote and also actually get people into the salon to pick up the sample. Ocean Spray is been using snap tags and 2D mobile barcodes to deliver back recipes to consumers. So consumers are obviously buying bottles of Ocean Spray and enjoying them, but they're trying to increase usage by telling people how to use Ocean Spray products in different ways. So in popsicles or in different recipes. And in this program, they returned to consumers a recipe for a popsicle, actually. And this advertisement ran in Martha Stewart this time last summer. And what was really interesting about this particular execution is Ad Age named it the top performing advertisement of summer because consumers, based on this study, indicated they were looking for engagement opportunities and opportunities to get more from an advertisement or get more from a brand when they stopped and were motivated by the impulse to learn more. So the other thing that 2D mobile barcodes are doing are also extending the social networking opportunity, or else allowing brands really to help meet their social networking goals. So there's QR codes called Likeify that are delivering a similar solution to helping brands drive likes. This is our snap tag version of that. Consumers can snap and send the Facebook icon or the Twitter logo or Twitter icon, and then either like that brand on Facebook or become a follower on Twitter. So Likeify works like a QR code does. You scan it to like a brand. The Facebook snap tag allows you to scan it or to snap and send it to like a brand or to follow brands on Twitter. It gets a little bit more interesting in that we also can allow a brand to offer an incentive, so that if you snap a snap tag, a social snap tag we're calling it, if you snap a social snap tag, you also qualify for an incentive that the brand would offer. So, and like us now and be entered into a sweepstakes, like us now and get a free sample, like us now and get exclusive content, are some of the call to actions that can be employed. Or it can also just be like us now, and once you like us, you're qualified. You'll get great offers and content that we are sharing with our Facebook fans. So all of a sudden, there's going to be a big jump in QR code, 2D mobile barcode, and social and snap tag usage over the course of the next 3 months, where brands are going to be actively using them to advance their social marketing goals. The next thing that we're spending time working with brands on is using 2D mobile barcodes to drive conversion. So here's some examples of how 2D mobile barcodes are being employed to drive conversion. We work with Foot Locker, and they used the snap tag to deliver back a coupon to consumers. So a consumer consumers in their loyalty club could print off the coupon at home via the email coupon, or they could snap to get the coupon sent to their cell phone. And then they could redeem that coupon in store just the way they would have redeemed the paper coupon. So it allowed them to diminish some of the fall-off factors that they were bringing in the coupon by sending it directly to the consumer's phone. Right now, we are in market with an Orbit program where they are using snap tags to deliver a loyalty program. Loyalty points, consumers have an opportunity to instantly win loyalty points. So what Orbit is doing is really taking the 2D mobile barcode to the package and deploying a pretty big summer promotion and making their package an interactive tool rather than the delivery device for their product. And where package has always delivered marketing value, this is taking the marketing value to the next level by making it an interactive engagement. In this example, consumers can win Orbit bucks instantly, and as they accumulate Orbit bucks, they get to go online and buy Orbit prizes. This is just another example of a coupon that Dove is executing. They are distributed, as you guys all know, in mass merchandise stores. And so mass merchandise stores, you need a printed coupon for the most part still in order to activate a discount. So Dove actually offered consumers the opportunity to get a discount sent to their phone, and then it could be printed at, they would have to forward it to their email address and print it at home in order to redeem the coupon. But that workaround method seems to be working pretty effectively for Unilever at this time. The next phase that we're trying to help brands, 2D mobile barcodes are allowing brands to meet marketing objectives is in relationships. And where we're seeing that more used really effectively is really across the entire marketing mix, but certainly with a unique opportunity on packaging. And opportunities are asking consumers for feedback, delivering offers for the repeat purchase, sharing, offering people an opportunity to opt into an ongoing relationship, and then offering people the opportunity to opt into social networking. This is a program that Bud Light ran during football season last year, and consumers could snap to get content from their playbook program. First, they were age-gated for anyone out there doing alcohol marketing and knows the importance of the age gate. But then really where it got more interesting was they snapped, they could get, they got the video back immediately, and then they got an offer from Bud Light to choose what additional content the consumer would like to see. They got to choose if they would like to see more plays from the playbook program. They got to choose if they wanted recipes. They got to choose if they wanted tailgating tips or behind the enemy lines trailers. And that allowed them to hear from the consumer what they wanted. And you know, they also learned that consumers were really interested in tailgating recipes. And so they served a lot of interesting basic tailgating recipes back to the consumer, and then were able to understand where the consumer's interests were, but also they opted in for ongoing communication about that type of offer, and were able to really continue to engage consumers over and over again across the promotion that they ran. This is a program that Crest ran where they ran, it was a sweepstakes was the initial offer, but then there was their objective was to really build their mobile database, and so they got consumers engaged with the sweepstakes, and then they had an opt-in offer that was compelling and allowed consumers to opt in for an ongoing dialogue. And what was interesting about Crest was they actually generated more, at the time, more people into their email data, into their mobile database than they had Facebook fans at the time. So that was a real sign for them that there was an opportunity to engage consumers on this mobile platform in a really effective way. And Colorado Native is a really great brand that we work with that's using 2D mobile barcodes on packaging and using it to start a mobile relationship with a consumer and really build a dialogue with them over time. And they're asking consumers more about what they want to know and then texting them information about where their interests lie and asking them to engage in a long-term and ongoing relationship via the mobile platform. And Colorado Native is owned by a subsidiary of Coors that's located in Denver, Colorado. And then some of the other things that brands are doing is actually rather than just having one objective, they're trying to achieve multiple objectives with their SnapTag campaigns or TV mobile barcode campaigns. And in this case, Warner Brothers went out with the objective of trying to engage consumers again in Inception, the Inception property, when they launched the DVD. So they really approached their program in phases. First, they wanted to re-engage consumers in a promotional program, and then they wanted to drive conversion and purchase of the DVD. So over the course of a 6-week promotion, they released ongoing new content from the DVD, exclusive content that the Inception fan would want to see. And then at the end, they returned to the consumer a special code that allowed them to unlock new content in the DVD. So that really was a purchase driver for the Inception DVD. So they met two goals and really engaged consumers, built some loyalty and following, and then converted them to a sale. this inception program ran across a broad marketing mix, and then actually also ran on the DVD promotional TV spots for the launch of the DVD. So from the TV commercial, you could actually pause your TV commercial, stop, and get exclusive content from the DVD sent back to your phone while you're watching television. So just, I think what we're going to see is 2D mobile barcodes start invading all marketing medium, and where it's really been on printed materials up to this point, we're seeing it start hitting a lot of screens as well. So, one of the real benefits of 2D mobile barcodes is they start allow you to measure success and measure your campaigns in really innovative ways, and in some ways measure mass marketing in a way that's never been allowed before. So we can look at really all aspects of any campaign that goes into the marketplace and look at the number of times people are snapping, how many people are snapping, how many unique people are snapping, and we can also measure it by media segments. So we can look at how table tents are performing relative to posters, or how Walmart snap pegs or 2D mobile barcodes are placed in Walmart are performing relative to 2D mobile barcodes placed in Safeway. You can also look at time stamps, so when media is on versus when media is off, how 2D mobile barcodes are performing, and how much that point of sale or merchandising materials is generating consumer interest. All 2D mobile barcode providers can really customize a lot of reporting for the individual campaigns that are being built, and so it gives a lot of insight into not only how the 2D mobile barcodes are driving activations for the brand, but also how that media is performing and how different offers are performing. So what we see is really that there's multiple steps to activating consumers. The first is making them aware of the 2D mobile barcode promotion. And what we find is most of the impact associated with success is a lot about the call to action and about the promotion that consumers are have an opportunity to participate in. So the first thing is about making them aware of the promotion. The next is making sure that they're interested in the promotion. So where Martha Stewart recipes in Martha Stewart's magazines really resonate with that target, they probably don't resonate as well with an HP target. Interestingly enough, they did really resonate with a Bud Light target, but really understanding your consumers and understanding what the offer, how interested they are going to be in a variety of offers will really drive success for 2D mobile barcode campaign. The next is making sure that they understand how to participate. 2D mobile barcodes are certainly flooding the marketplace, but there's still, consumers still need a little bit of a primer on how to activate them in order to have an effective participation. And it is really easy, but those simple steps of how to engage is important to making sure that they have a great experience. The next is making sure that they have the ability. So if you're putting an 2D mobile barcode offer into the marketplace, that you're delivering that the consumers have the ability to activate it. And finally, delivering success is making sure the technology is easy to use and that it's well tested. So we're seeing QR codes specifically show up in all sorts of wonky places. On the curved surfaces, really too small to be effective, and I think that is creating some consumer trust issues associated with those 2D mobile barcodes because they're not necessarily working all the time, especially for QR codes that are self-generated and can be applied anywhere, because they're not necessarily being used in technologically. They're being distributed too small and in curved surfaces in so many instances that are harder, in places that are harder to read. And this is some of the success rates that we've seen. And this is the more compelling the offer, the higher the participation rate. But also the more personal the media, the higher the participation rate. Packages seem to are delivering higher participation rates because consumers sit with those and look at those for a longer period of time than when they're walking past an out-of-home board. that doesn't mean that putting a 2D mobile barcode on an out-of-home board isn't a big opportunity. I think in some ways that's the biggest opportunity, because if you can engage a consumer interested in your offer from an out-of-home board, if you can get them to the next stage of the consumer decision journey, all the more reason to put, even if it's a few of them, all the more reason to add a 2D mobile barcode. But if you are looking for high participation rates, the broader offers and the more personal media are the ones that are having the highest number of activations. The highest number of activations isn't always the goal. Sometimes the goal is giving consumers the information they need to make a purchase decision, or giving the consumers the opportunity to have a relationship with a brand. And those are more targeted opportunities with really smaller participation rates, but in some ways more meaningful participation. That's the content I have to share with you. I probably went kind of fast, but Rob, do you want to go ahead and let me go ahead and take questions?
Absolutely, absolutely. As I said in the beginning, everyone, there is a question area in your toolbox right beneath the audio section, I believe, so type questions in there. While folks are typing, Jane, I was going to ask you, in terms of some of the learnings you guys have had, I know you mentioned that getting consumers to understand how to use these snap tags and QR codes is very important. Do you have any examples, at least anecdotally, of programs that may have suffered because people didn't really understand how to use the snap tag or QR code? And then what were some lessons that folks have sort of learned in terms of how to make sure their consumers, their potential audience, understands here's what you do?
Yeah, no, I think I just went up to a Colorado native slide, and this is a good example of really understanding really working with a brand to understand their business objectives. In this case, Colorado native actually doesn't have any kind of call to action at all, or explanation of how to use a snap tag or the 2D mobile barcode. It's for them, and as a result, their participation is, is not as great as it could be. They have made the strategic decision that they want the snap tag campaign that they're running to be about discovery, and that will carry more weight and greater loyalty with their consumer in the long run. And so they seed information about the opportunity in the market, throughout the year, but their campaign is really about the bartender telling the consumer about the opportunity to engage. And so their goal is discovery and loyalty rather than a huge number of snaps. And in this case, they've really sacrificed quantity in order to kind of achieve the goal of quality relationships.
Okay, so I guess that goes back to objectives of the campaign. But is there some sense that they still could have done that and made had some higher engagement levels, or maybe I should ask this question. For them, is this campaign, I don't know how long this has been running, is this a success for them?
They've been running for 1.5 years, and it is as successful or more so than their Facebook campaign. Okay. So it gets back to objectives. And we do see that, with a call to action, an explanation of, we've got the explanation down to a pretty good synopsis of, 10 words or less, pretty much. But with a call to action and with an explanation, results can be 10 to 100 times better.
Right.
But this was very much for them in particular, like I said, not about quantity. It was more about that quality and driving that relationship, more meaningful relationship.
Okay. All right. I'll give it a few more minutes. Here we do have a question from, let me see who the question is from so I can get the name right. David Kramer from the marketing agency. David asks, what is the participation rate for billboards in high pedestrian areas such as Times Square? What would you expect? I'll go down to our, sorry, I'm clicking through here, but we see
that the out-of-home participation rate is, Times Square is a pretty highly visited location. We would assume that based on just the number of people walking through Times Square, the activation rate would be about 0.100, about 1.1%, or a little less, relatively low, because quite honestly, the biggest challenge we would have in Times Square, even though it's a pretty big deal to be in Times Square, is the awareness level of the billboard, because there are 100 of them. So that people are actually stopping and looking at that, and that's the hardest part of the equation, is what percentage of people are actively aware of that billboard and understanding that conversion rate versus every person who walks through Times Square during a given day. So there's actually a pretty high range based on how prominently is that billboard catching people's attention, and is that offer compelling to the consumer? But of everyone walking through Times Square, I imagine it would be less than 1%. But of the people that are aware of it, I think that's where you start seeing really much higher participation rates of people who are actively aware of it and interested in the offer. So it's, it kind of comes back to that goal. Is your goal really just about engaging people? Is it a PR stunt to engage as many people as possible? In that case, do a really disruptive billboard creative, and also make the call to action really compelling and disruptive. And then I think you'd see really high participation rates. If it's a little, something you're adding to the corner as an add-on, as an overlay that consumers may not notice because it's totally secondary to the primary message, I think that's where you're going to see the less than 0.5% results.
Okay.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, it strikes me that the SnapTag or QR code is a great add-on to print advertising to sort of make your print pieces work better and stronger. I think,
that's one great place to use it. I think some of the really interesting places is that, Toyota's using it on car stickers, and Unilever's using it in store aisles, and, Orbit's using it on packaging. So it's really a great way to deliver an interactive, extend any business strategy to the next level.
Nice. Okay, and you had another question. Oh, what is your company URL?
Spyderlynk.com, SPYDERLYNK.com.
Right. And we are going to make this presentation available to you all. So be on the lookout for an email from GoToMeeting@citrixonline.com. And we are certainly asking folks to take 2 minutes to fill out a quick survey on this session, after which you will get a link to download the presentation, and you can watch it all over again. Hey, Jane, there is another question. Kyle Beth Hilfer, hi Kyle Beth, wants to know what are you seeing in terms of using these codes in prize promotions? How are they being used to enter sweeps contests, and what is innovative in this area? Three-parter. Shall I repeat?
We have seen really a lot of sweepstakes usage for 2D mobile barcodes and for snap tags, and so we've done a lot of promotions in the sweepstakes area where, rather than driving people to a website or old-fashioned take-a-tear pad or any of the kind of sweepstakes entry vehicles that are somewhat are disruptive or have a lot of friction associated with them, this reduces a lot of that friction because it allows people to enter immediately. And because QR codes send you to a mobile web page where you would enter via the mobile web page. A snap tag allows you to use Snap and send it, and then we return the sweepstakes confirmation. For companies that are beer, for example, we can require the age be validated before the sweepstakes entry takes place. And then on the back end, we can also do some really innovative things around only letting people enter one time a day or once an hour or once a month, whatever kind of the parameters are for the rules and regulations that are established for the promotion or for the sweepstakes. There's a lot of sophisticated, there's a lot of kind of risk management that can be managed on the back end to make those sweepstakes not only really easy for consumers, but also have a lot of sophisticated capabilities for the marketer. And QR codes can do that as well. It's just through the mobile web page. Snap tags just deliver it over that mobile, in and out of the text inbox, pre-qualifying people that way, or else just confirming their sweepstakes entry that way. Some of the companies we work with ask us to integrate with their sweepstakes rules provider, and we often, will work with a sweepstakes rules provider to integrate with them to ensure that the rules are being implemented through the SnapTag campaign. Same thing for the QR code. You can do that over the mobile web page. You just have to build a mobile web page that meets those rules requirements.
All right. I think that's going to be it. We're going to let everybody get out of here a few minutes early. Again, look for an email before the end of the day with the link to download the PDF of this presentation, as well as a link that will allow you to review this presentation, the video, and all that stuff. And certainly feel free to reach out to Jane, who's a PMA member, if you have some direct questions about how you can use snap tags or QR codes in general. Thanks, everyone. And if you have suggestions for other topics you'd like to hear, certainly reach out to me. I'm at rfields@pmalink.org. We are always looking for great webinar content, new research, new insights, new tools of the trade, always looking for stuff that can help the marketing services, promotion marketing industry. So anyway, let everyone get back to work, and thank you again for joining us. And I want to thank Jane McPherson from SpyderLink and SnapTags. Have a great afternoon, all.
Goodbye.